Hello everyone, Radlad here, and welcome back to yet another video. Today we're playing Metroid Project ZM, which is basically a ROM hack of Metroid Zero Mission that makes it better. But truth be told, it is currently 2 in the morning, so what we're gonna do is a fun little challenge where I'm just gonna play this until I accidentally swear. You know, I swear a lot on the channel, and, you know, I'm recording this at night, I want to be kind of quiet, so if we swear, the video ends, and hopefully it'll be soon because it's currently 2, but I did want to record a video before we start. But yeah, this is basically just Zero Mission, but it makes it just better because, you know, I mean, I spent the whole video, even though I praised the game for 30 minutes, you know, I let myself get a little bit wild towards the end just because, you know, I didn't really enjoy it to an extent. It's fine, it's fine. This is just Metroid Dread, not Metroid Dread, Metroid Zero Mission, but better. So yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to record a quick video before, you know, I head to bed and stuff. I have work at 11, so, you know, it's fine, it's fine. But yeah, basically just makes the room layouts more like Super. Well, not really, it's just made that first area more like Super, which I honestly think starting on Criteria is kind of a good change. Never liked the, it always felt weird that you saw Samus land, but then she kind of just didn't do anything. It's like, that's a little strange, don't you think? So yeah, I don't really know how much this changes, honestly. All I heard was that it just kind of improves Zero Mission, which, you know, is always good for me because I never really liked Zero Mission that much. As if you couldn't really tell by, I mean, seriously, if you didn't know that by now on my channel, that I don't really like this game, then what's wrong with you? You should have known that by now. Okay, so I mean, it's still better than Metroid 1. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Metroid 1 is quite terrible, but I mean, like, let's be honest, Metroid 1 is so bad, and like, I mean, I spent the entire Zebeth video complaining about that. Like, it's just so bad. Metroid 2 is kind of base, though. Like, honestly, like, it's not the best or anything, but like, I quite like Metroid 2. It's only fun for like 15 minutes at a time, but like, I'd still say it's a pretty solid game. Also, I kind of like this color palette. It's more accurate to the original Metroid. Because one of the things I didn't really like about Zero Mission, another thing I kind of, now I can actually complain about Zero Mission. This isn't a challenge where I can't complain about it. Is I honestly did not like a lot of the color changes it made to it. Like, it kind of, like, I kind of like the dark brooding atmosphere of Metroid 1 in a lot of ways, and I feel like a lot of that was lost in Zero Mission in a few ways. Like, Zero Mission definitely made Metroid 1 better, but like, I don't know. I feel like it still missed a bit, because like, I think the dark and foreboding atmosphere of, because like, let's be honest, the tone of Zero Mission is completely different, and like, I think even calling it a faithful remake, honestly, I'm not sure if that's a quite accurate term, because a lot of people complain about Samus Returns not being faithful, yet I feel like, and yeah, it's not, it's anything but a faithful remake. I would say the only faithful remake we've really ever gotten of a Metroid game is AM2R, because I feel like that perfectly captured the original game spirit, whereas Zero Mission is a completely different beast. It's more of a reimagining, and like how Samus Returns was a reimagining of, you know, Metroid 1, whatever. Couldn't think of the name for some reason. Samus Returns reimagining of Metroid 2. I'm sorry, it is 2 in the morning. I'm very tired. Yeah, Samus Returns and Zero Mission are both reimaginings, whereas AM2R is more of a straight remake, which neither is worse or anything. It's just interesting to note. Also, I always find it weird that you have to go through that room in order to get this enemy to spawn. A little odd quirk, but yeah, like, I don't know, it's a little weird. But anyway, let's head through. We're making some serious, insane progress. Yeah, I really like this new color palette. I think this looks a lot better. Makes it feel actually like Brinstar. Because I always like the color palette of Brinstar, like the chat. It just looks cooler in my opinion. There we go. I mean, technically you can do that without the long beam, but I like the long beam, and I feel like skipping the long beam is dumb, so I'm just not gonna skip the long beam. So yeah, honestly, I don't know, I feel like that, I don't know. This feels slightly better. Like, I mean, not much has changed. Like, I knew this hack was not going to be like a massive one, so if I do a full series, it's kind of dependent, because it's not really that insane of a hack. And if anything, it's kind of similar to what I did last time with the no complaining thing, except I'm allowed to complain, but not really about this one, more about the original, because, well, yeah, you already know how much I'm not a big fan of that. Damn it. I always forget you can't secret break like that. I don't know, I actually replayed Dread in one sitting the other night, and yeah, now that game still holds up as like really, really good. It's just such a good game. It really is. It's perfect Metroid, honestly. In a lot of ways, I'd say it's better than Super Metroid. It's just that I think Super Metroid is just nostalgia overloaded for me, so like I have such a bias towards it that I can never really say anything's better than it, even if I think, honestly, Dread is probably the better game. I'll be honest, I think Dread is the better Metroid game, all things considered. So yeah, I don't know how long we're going to last, because, I don't know, I tend to swear a lot, and it's not even just like when I'm angry. A lot of times I just swear to like kind of add emphasis that I'm really enjoying it. So either if I enjoy a game too much, I'm swearing, or if I dislike a game, I'm swearing. So like it's kind of, there's no middle ground. It's just I always swear, apparently. It's a problem. But also I really like how much quicker and snappier it is to get out of that, so I can appreciate that. Anyway, let's see what this dude's all about. Is he any different? I almost feel like he won't be. Like, that wouldn't make much sense. Like, come on. Hey, man. That was kind of rude that you even hit me like that. Don't really appreciate your tone. Okay. Oh, come on. This hitbox is so weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a unique mechanic that he does, like, go away if you don't kill him quick enough. But at the same time, it's really annoying. Can I be honest for a second? It is kind of an annoying mechanic. Because you know what? You know what other enemy has that mechanic that people always complain about? Yeah, the game of Metroids from Samus Returns. And yet, everyone just overlooks this one as being like, oh, it was fun. Like, no, it's annoying. Because at least the game of Metroids, you know, the nests are all very close together. So it's not really a big deal if that happens. Because I don't know. People, like, I almost said, the S word that means, I almost said it again. You know, I'm not even going to mention it. I'm not going to count. Crap is not a swear word. Neither is hell. Neither is hell. Hell and crap are not swell words, okay? Swell words. Are not swear words, okay? Let's be honest here. They aren't. They just aren't. But, like, okay. People always crap on Samus Returns so much. Like, I get it, you know, AM2R is really good. You know, I'm not denying that. AM2R is amazing. Do not get me wrong. I love AM2R. I think it's really good. I should play it on the channel. But, like, people, like, treat Samus Returns like it's this horrible thing, and it's really not. It's one of the better games. Like, I think it's a really good game in the series, and people do not give it the credit it deserves. And honestly, it baffles me, because I think it's a better remake than Zero Mission ever was. Like, I just do not think Zero Mission is that good, overall. And I know I am, like, alone in that opinion in saying Zero Mission is not that great, but, like... Because, like, I don't know, like... Interesting, because I've heard someone, like, call it, you know, it's, like, part of the holy trinity of the Metroid series. You know, Metroid Prime, Super Metroid, and Zero Mission are, like, kind of the holy trinity. And, I mean, I agree with Super Metroid being part of the holy trinity, but I wouldn't really agree with any of the other two. Like, I absolutely love Prime. I think Prime's amazing. In fact, I'd say it's, like... I think the new holy trinity is Super Metroid... Metroid Dread. I mean, Prime's really good, don't get me wrong, but I like Prime 2 slightly more, so that's why, like, I'd still say Prime is, like, okay, let's be honest, I feel like, okay, the 5 god tier games in the series to me are Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Dread, Prime, and Prime 2. I think those are the 5, like, god tier games in the series. Anyway, let's get our revenge on this bozo. I think we can kill him there, but I just keep forgetting to. Okay. Sure, game. You gotta be, like, very accurate with where you're standing. There we go. What? Don't you dare disappear. Okay, there we go. Got him second cycle. He's not a hard boss, but he's also not really interesting either. I don't know. Never been a huge fan of him. It feels like a Mario boss. It's literally just, okay, 3 hits and you win. Like, okay, thank you, Mario. Okay, I guess this music's still playing. That's fine. That makes sense. I mean, it is... Also, I think this room layout's different. I don't really know. It's been a while since I've actually played OG Zero Mission for more than, well, what I did for the complaining videos, so it's fine. It's A-okay, honestly. A fair part of this video is I'm going to forget I swore at some point in the video, and I'm not going to catch it in editing, so that the video's going to go longer, and there's going to be a comment being like, yo, you sweared earlier. That's going to be my favorite part of this video. It just sort of feels like we're playing Zero Mission. Like, I don't know. I'm going to call it Zero Mission. Let's see if I feel like it's Zero Mission, but better. I kind of like the intro scene with Criteria more, so like, I guess that's technically better. Like the dumbest margin. Alright, now it's save. We get bombs here, right? Yeah. I was just curious, like, let's go back up to Criteria, so that's interesting. It's kind of interesting, because, like, it's not our first time even up to our ship after starting. You ever realized that most Metroid games don't really loop back to your ship? Like, I feel like a lot don't. Like Metroid Fusion, like sure, you have to go back to your ship at one point, but it doesn't naturally loop. It's very much out of the way. Dread, you literally spend the entire game trying to just get to your ship. And then, I mean, Metroid 1 doesn't even have the ship. Metroid 2, you start off with your ship, but you're never going to go back there until the very end of the game. Super Metroid is like the only game in the series where you actually return to your ship. Even Zero Mission, like, yeah, sure, you return to your ship. Well, not really. You just see your ship for the first time, and then you return to it at the end. Like, you really don't need to be your ship at any point. It's very out of the way, honestly. And then, yeah, like, yeah, I'd say Super Metroid's really the only 2D game in the entire series where you actually need the ship. Because Samus Returns, obviously, you know, remake of Metroid 2, so obviously it's not going to have you going near the ship. Even the Prime game, well, the Prime games honestly do a much better job. Because Prime 1, you go back to town overworld a ton, so obviously you're going to go back to your ship. I don't know where I was going. Oh, yeah, I don't know where I'm going. I'm, like, losing my track of thought. But, like, yeah, Metroid Prime 1, you know, you loop back. Metroid Prime 2 is probably the one where you use the ship the least. But, like, I mean, you still kind of loop back over that area eventually. So, like, it's still kind of useful. And then Prime 3 is entirely all about the ship. And then Other M, you have it to where it's kind of the fusion thing again, where it's just kind of off in its own little alcove, and aside from like the very end of the game, you're never gonna go back. You know, I'm not playing Metroid Other M on this channel. Metroid Other M I've only beaten once, and while I hate the story of I have watched the entire movie, like just on a Discord call one time with one of my friends at like honestly 2 in the morning about this time, and it was honestly fun just because like yeah, no, the story sucks, but like watching it at 2 a.m. with a friend who, and keep in mind, my friend is not a Metroid fan. Like they had quite literally never really. I think they played Super with. I think they played Super. They definitely played Super Metroid. They got up to like Kraid, and I think that was about it. And that was the most experience they ever had with Metroid. And they watched the cutscene, didn't really know fully what was going on, but just kind of laughed at every stupid thing that happened in the story, which is a lot. Because again, this is Other MF we're talking about. Okay. I'm gonna get into this hole. No, come on. I don't care if this is, like, inefficient. I'm getting into this hole. But yeah, like, they knew nothing about Metroid, like, at all. It's like, this was kind of, like, their first, like, example of seeing something Metroid-related. Of course, yeah, it's Other M. So, like, you know, only the best of first impressions of the series. Come on. There you go. But yeah, like only the first best picture. Like yeah, no, we just watched like cutscenes, had a good laugh. Like the game's play, like the cutscenes are very garbage. Like the story of the game is so bad. Like I hate how they write Samus because, okay, I think my favorite part about Samus is that I feel like her character is like okay, her gender has never been really that big of a deal. It's more just like she's a girl, so what? Like. Why does that have to do with anything with anything? And I always like that attitude with Samus. It's like, yeah, no, she's a girl. Big deal. Who cares? That's not important. Who cares what her gender is? It's not like it's like that doesn't. It's not important. It was never really that important. It was just more like, oh, cool. I guess she's a girl. That's interesting. That's cool. Most action girls are usually So it was like kind of revolutionary in a lot of ways. And then Other M comes in. It's like and rams it into the face that she's a girl and that it's special, that she's a bounty hunter because. There's still sexism apparently in Other M, so like I just never liked that. I liked you know the Metroid games when we didn't have the whole sexism thing. And I don't know, it just kind of made me mad. Like I'm fine with like I like Anthony Higgs. I think he's the best character in the game. Like yeah, he calls Samus princess, but that's more because I've always pictured them as being kind of equals. They just kind of joke with each other, you know. With that, like I've always like saw them as like they're kind of best friends, and I wish the game kind of showcased that a lot better. Like Sam, for example, I feel like all they really need to do is just have Samus like slap, like across the shoulder, like a friendly little, like just to kind of show their, like I feel like that's the type of friendship they have. That's always been my headcanon, what type of friendship they have, and I kind of wish the game did a better job at showcasing that. And then Adam, they fucked up so